Howdy folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Marvel Legends Cyclops action figure by Toybiz. This figure set is part of Series 10 of Marvel Legends, also known as the Sentinel Series, and was first released around 2005. I got this figure set in 2011 at the WonderCon in San Francisco and paid only $15 for this set. Taking a look at the figure here in the package, you can see Cyclops here in his classic blue costume there, and also you can see a cable here that is part of the left arm of the Sentinel, and comes with a, I guess, flight or leaping stand since Cyclops doesn't really fly. And you also have a nice comic recreation of issue 201 of the Uncanny X-Men. And according to the sticker here, Cyclops has 32 points of articulation, and the comic, it has 32 pages. Taking a look here at the back of the package, you can see some statistics for Cyclops there. And down below is a description of Scott Summers, also known as Slim, or Cyclops. And down below you can see figures from Series 10, or the Sentinel Series of Marvel Legends. We have Cyclops here, Spider-Man, Angel, Mystique, Omega Red, Black Panther, and Mr. Sinister. And it looks like the variants in this wave are Cyclops with his X-Factor costume, and Angel in his blue version of the costume there. We'll be right back and have Cyclops out of the package. Okay, we're back and we have Cyclops out of the package, and we have quite a few items that came included with the figure, and we'll go ahead and take a look at these first. First up, we have a subscription card here for Marvel Adventures Spider-Man at 44% off here, and unfortunately the offer expired back in 2006, at the end of 2006, so you cannot use this anymore, unfortunately, on there, but it's nice to take a look at this. Next up, we'll take a look at the Build-A-Figure part, which is the left arm of the Sentinel, and it's quite detailed. I really do like the sculpt on this arm. It's very, very neat. You have here simulated musculature right there. It's very cool, and it's got a glitter-like paint to it. It's a pretty cool combination of purple and blue and gray as well. And just the details, you can see all these tiny, well, not tiny, but get all these cables running throughout the arm there. It's actually very neat. And some more detail here on the inner arm there. Very, very cool. And hopefully I can complete this Build-A-Figure. I have to do some bargain searching to complete the figure, but hopefully soon I'll be able to complete it. But you get some more details on the hand there, and it also came with a cable attachment that you can peg into the palm here, and the cable's quite detailed as well. Lots of nice sculpting there, and I believe there's a bendy wire inside there, and it does have air holes on here to allow it to breathe and bend without too much tearing on there. Pretty neat. Next thing we'll take a look at is the flight stand or leaping stand if you don't have a flying figure, and comes included with I guess most if not all of the figures from the series on there, and it does have adjustable portions along the post here, 2 points, and just screw it in to loosen, to adjust the angle here, and then you just screw it in to tighten on there. Kind of neat. Next thing we'll take a look at here is a recreation of Uncanny X-Men number 201, and this is the battle between Scott Summers and Aurora or Storm for the leadership of the X-Men on here. And very interesting thing I found out on the front inside cover here. I was trying to remember when this issue came out. I think it was in the mid-80s, and doesn't even show here. It shows it as X-Men number 5, so I'm not sure why the copyright information is indicating that, unless it was released as X-Men number 5 in another country. But very interesting. No reference to when this was originally released. But you have here Chris Claremont as the writer and Rick Leonardi as the guest penciler, with Will Portacio as the guest inker on here. And it's very interesting story. This just follows issue 200, which was the trial of Magneto, if I remember, in his very 80s costume on here. And it's a very interesting issue on here. And in the end, Cyclops departs the X-Men, and then soon after joins or founds X Factor. There's a shot of Madeline Pryor with Nathan there. And trying to remember if they had planned on the baby here being Cable. I thought I remember a little flash on the baby's eyes. Maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly. Take a look. It doesn't show, but I'll look for it. I thought there was a reference to a little flash of the eye there, but anyways, taking a look at the Cyclops figure here, and when I got this guy out of the package, I was surprised at how light this guy is, and thought he would be a much more solid figure, but he's not. I think the torso here is a little hollow on there, and it makes the figure a lot lighter than it appears on here. But it's still a pretty decent figure. Very interesting paint job on here. You can see it on the video. You can really see some of the brush strokes on the figure to make it look, I don't know, kind of interesting. It's not as bad as some other figures I've seen with obvious brush strokes, but this one is actually, I'd say, pretty good, even though you can still see the brush strokes on the paint on there. And it's got the just the right color of blue for this classic costume of Cyclops on there. Taking a look at the head sculpt there, you can see Cyclops with the visor there, and it's quite interesting, and you can see some of the details in the exposed areas of the face on there. And Cyclops has a pretty much basic costume. You have the gloves here and the swashbuckler boots, which I think are a little tad over long. Either that or the lower half of his leg is a little bit shorter, and in certain angles it looks kinda off. It makes him look shorter than he should be, even though he's about 6 inches, 6.5 inches in height for the figure, but it just makes the leg here smaller proportion to his upper leg here, and it looks a little off. I don't know if this swashbuckler part of the boot here is just a little bit too big. It makes it look just a tad off to me. But otherwise, it's a decent figure of Cyclops on here. Going over the articulation, the head here is on a pin ball joint, not a hinge joint. So the head can go all the way around, and it can go down, and I had to really force it to make it look slightly upwards on there, but it does move up. The arms do go all the way around, and they do go out and in. The biceps go all the way around on there. Double joints at the elbows, and there's a rotation all the way around at the glove. And the hands are on a hinge joint at the wrist, so it can go in and out, as well as the fingers on a hinge joint, so they can go in and out as well. And all the fingers are joined on there. There is no torso articulation, unfortunately, but there is rotation all the way around at the waist. And there's the peg hole joint for the stand if you want to use it. The legs are joined at the hip on a hinged swivel joint. Allows the leg to go up on a type of ratcheted type of joint there. And slightly to the back and out to the side. There's a swivel cut at the upper thigh. Allows the leg to go all the way around. The knees have double hinge joints, so you can bend the knees quite a bit there. And there is a swivel joint on the lower leg, but not at the top of the boot, but actually underneath, so you can actually rotate his foot and lower part of his leg there. And there's a hinge joint at the foot that allows the foot to go up and down. And there's an ankle pivot to allow it to go side to side, and a toe joint to allow the toe to go upwards. Overall, it's a decent figure. Surprisingly very light figure. Just really light when you have it in your hands there. And you can get him in some decent poses despite the lack of articulation here at the torso. And I do recommend it, especially if you're into the classic version of Cyclops here. But this is my casual peek into the Marvel Legends Cyclops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.